never before. No, I'm not doing that. The government's going to take your kids and your wives and tax them too.
And they look at your Instagram messages and your Facebook messages.
What are you doing, Dad? Your mom miss you at home.
I told you, Andrew, I gotta go.
Dad. Yee old son, but you've never heard of them.
Yeah, old son.
I hated that. There are ancient cities in the southeast United States that nobody has ever seen before.
One day you will all sit down at my table for wine and mead by the river in Oxford. We shall read each other's books and laugh. I shall not go to my God until mine book is written. I shall await you in Oxford.
The internet's been dead since 2016. What you're listening to is fake, and you might be fake too.
It's all AI! Welcome back, everybody, to Tinfoil Testament.
Ye old son.
Ye old son. Yes, sir.
Welcome back to Tinfoil Testament, everybody. We are, again, 3 friends sitting in a 4-sided room. Last time, on the last episode, there was how many of you?
Well, last episode you were still here. This episode before that.
Yeah. Either way, Jeremy got me rehired. I was not fired. Still not paying me.
Shameful.
Help.
You're getting paid in exposure.
That's true.
Hey, can I get paid in shares, please?
Yeah, everyone. Pay Andrew by sharing this video with everyone.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, Christmas is officially
Dead.
Come and
Gone. Krampus is coming up.
We're not going to talk about it too much because by now Christmas is old news for you guys, and it's the new year.
Thank God.
For us, we're still in the old one.
We're
Tell us how it is. Is 2026 the promised time, or is it horrible?
Are we in? Hello?
Hello?
Y'all, today's not my day.
What do you mean? You got a deer today?
No, talking.
Oh.
Yes. Yes, I did shoot a deer today. I petted it real nice. I didn't shoot it. There's no blood involved. I just jumped on it and stabbed it with a stick. How we were supposed to.
That's one heck of a stick. I saw it. That thing went right through.
That's right. Well, I'm a cool guy. What can I say?
That's true.
According to some people.
You know what also is cool? Native cities.
Native deodorant? Yeah, I forgot to put deodorant on.
I didn't.
I did not either.
Yeah, I had to have
Meaning
a quick
I did not
shower.
forget.
I had a quick shower, so I'm not smelly yet. This is great content. This is great content.
Tell me about the native cities. Because you hyped it up when we were hunting, and then you left me on a cliffhanger.
Not just the native cities, but the ancient native cities in...
Those are native, too.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Whatever. Ancient cities in North America, that's more like it. I shouldn't say native, but...
Why don't we find whoever's doing this and figure out if they can go back to that Croatoan place and find something?
They did.
Was that the shards of metal?
Yeah, I was telling Jeremy about it. I don't know if I told you.
Did we ever do an update on it here?
Yes.
No.
I thought we did.
Yes.
Oh.
You weren't telling me. You were telling the pod.
Ah. All right,
But
mystery
you
solved.
shared the video I didn't watch.
Yeah, those yeah. That was the city that basically disbanded and went with the native tribes. Croatoan. But we still don't know why Edgar Allan Poe was wandering around Maryland saying it on his deathbed and whatnot. Not the app. But native cities.
So the ancient cities in the southeastern United States, it's a pretty cool topic, actually. This guy, I found him on Instagram. His name is, his handle is Luke Caverns.
His name is what?
My name is. I was trying to figure out what you're going with.
I was like, Come on.
So this guy, his name is Luke, or his handle is Luke Caverns on Instagram, but his name is Luke Reagan. He's an explorer. He goes to all sorts of places. He's an archaeologist and finds all kinds of cool stuff. He's recently focused his work in the southeastern United States. He's done a TV show for History Channel and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about him. I just recently started following this guy like a week ago. But the reason why I started following him is because of his work with LiDAR in the southeastern United States. And he's finding all kinds of ancient cities within.
Can you explain what LiDAR is?
So LiDAR, it's basically like a very, do you know, okay, do you know what topo is? Topography. A topography map.
Yes.
Okay. So a topography map has a bunch of lines on there on the map. It's 2D image trying to explain 3D.
Mm-hmm.
The closer the lines are, the steeper the terrain is. This goes into a 3D image of that. But it's a very, very detailed version. So you've seen where they basically heat a piece of plastic and put it down and vacuum around an object.
Yeah, vacuum forming.
Think of that, but for geography.
So
With
it's basically
scanning, it scans the terrain, and it's an extremely detailed perspective of that.
So
I tried to explain that. Okay, I mean, was that all right?
The way I've always understood it is like
I mean,
they'll take it
like this. I did like figure eights and everything to get down to the point of what it was.
It's like I think they put them on drones, right? The sensors.
Yeah, they used to put them on helicopters, but now obviously it's a lot cheaper to do a drone.
And the way I understand it is like they'll pick a patch, like let's just say a 1 mile by 1 mile radius, and they'll fly it back and forth over and over again until they've scanned everything that they possibly can, and it gives you a 3D map of everything. And then you can kind of see patterns and stuff that you wouldn't be able to see otherwise, especially when you start to pull back the vegetation and things like that. I'm assuming that's where he's going with all this because they're doing it now for like roofing companies and stuff like that.
They're doing it for all kinds of companies. They're even starting to do it. Obviously, I'm a hunter. They're even starting to do it for hunting on the app Onyx.
Yeah. To give you better ideas of what you're running into.
Yeah. I'm sending a couple pictures in, at least the link on the Instagram to his Instagram page to show you what it's going to look like. It's very interesting for sure. He has found pyramids along with in these cities too. I mean, he's found all kinds of things just in our backyards, man. I mean, it's wild. But Caverns, he has discovered and marked over 100 ancient cities
that we didn't know about?
That we did not know about.
That's pretty cool.
100 that are, as far as I know, that are confirmed. Either they're villages to cities. Not necessarily all of them are cities. My bad.
Right. But still, civilization.
Yeah, 100 of them. I mean, this isn't like the jungles of South America, man. I mean, this is literally in our backyards.
Now, is he going to all these places and visiting them?
I believe he's going to for some.
Okay.
He's he's mentioned that he's going to focus a lot now in the southeastern United States, and he's going to start going to at least a couple of them, I believe, to try to really figure out what's going on.
So maybe I'm just zoned out a little bit and didn't catch it. So is he doing these scans, noticing some stuff, and then looking into it more? Is that how he's finding?
Yeah. He's flying around, and I guess he's going by tips first, just to.
Oh, so he actually has like a general idea of like, hey, let's look here. He's not just like, let's just scan some
I
areas.
imagine so. I mean, how else are you going to find that?
I mean, you could just be like, hey, I just want to see if there's stuff, and he just picks places, and
I would imagine the two ways you go about it is if there's no city somewhere and you think, okay, this would possibly be a good point to build, let's scan it, see if we can find something, or local folklore, legends,
and I'm
history.
not even thinking like, oh, he's going places and everywhere he goes is a hit. I'm just wondering if like, was he just like, I'm just interested and just scanning, and as he's going, he's like, here are the findings, and there's a lot of misses because
probably
it would be very surprising if you just at random everywhere you picked there was something. Then I'd be like, maybe there's cities everywhere. If everywhere you go you find so I was just wondering, was he just like, I just am curious and these are the results of what he's found, or if he had like reasons to do it and he's like, hey, look, I scanned because of XYZ and this is what I found. Either way, it's the same outcome. I just was curious as to.
Yeah, I don't know how long it takes to scan for LiDAR. I imagine if...
as I understand it, because when you started talking about LiDAR the other day, I started looking at just different things about it. It's relatively fast.
Yeah, I just looked this up, and it's saying that the system emits a rapid pulse of laser light, often in the near infrared spectrum, towards a target, and the light travels at a consistent speed. It hits an object and scatters. A small portion of that light reflects back towards the LiDAR sensor. So, yeah, I mean, I imagine it takes pretty fast. Obviously, you're not going to be flying around scanning it, but basically,
we're getting to
taking
that,
like a prolonged exposure picture.
We're getting to that point where you see in sci-fi movies where we'll send like probes that'll map out caves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If assuming the technology is there to rapidly, have some sort of computer or system or onboard on the drone look at what it's scanning, you could theoretically just say, hey, go scan this whole cave system.
Yeah. So it's over the past 2 years, he has used LiDAR to discover and map more than 100 uncharted sites across the southeastern U.S. So this includes, like I was saying earlier, cities, villages, pyramids, and geoglyphs. So there's a bunch of different sites, a bunch of different sizes of cities. But he's going all the way from Maine to Florida, so literally the whole eastern U.S.
Yeah.
I know I was saying southeastern U.S., but on his Instagram page, it said that he's mostly going to be focusing southeastern.
Is that just because we settled there first?
I don't know. Well, we didn't really settle southeastern. We settled
we came on the east first, is what
New
I mean.
England area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then made our way inward.
Not necessarily. It's mostly just because of the fact of how big the forests are over here. I mean, you go out to the Midwest, I mean, it's mostly plains.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of stuff or topography that
we can see that stuff.
Yeah. But it's all hidden behind the forest of like Georgia, Appalachia. And I mean, the big woods up in Pennsylvania, I mean, there's a reason why they call it the big woods in Pennsylvania, right? So the South and the eastern side of the U.S. has a ridiculous amount of forest left still. But the majority of people live east of the Mississippi in the U.S., which is crazy too. But I was looking up what the population was before Christopher Columbus of Native Americans here. And of course, we don't really know. I mean, there's not a whole lot of ways that we can tell. But out of North and South America, researchers are speculating around 60.5 million people, roughly. That's a good guesstimate there.
That's pretty big.
I saw numbers all the way down to as low as 8 million for the North American side section.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously we all know before Christopher Columbus, there was vast cities in South America and also North America.
Yeah. You got the Mayans and
Major cities. We know that for a fact. Especially South America. All of it's been grown over by the jungle and stuff. And I remember even learning about after conquistadors came to South America, they interacted with them for a little bit, and then they left. Well, they spread their diseases. And when they came back, after, I believe it was close to 100 years, next time that they came back to that area, everything was wiped out. They couldn't find, going by the maps that they had, they couldn't find any cities because everything was wiped out because of disease, because the people here didn't have an immune system towards the European diseases, which we all know that. But it's wild to think about that there are pyramids and major cities that are still hiding from us today.
why do you guys think it's always pyramids? Like it's always pyramids. Just is that the shape that we
want to hear my hot take for the Egyptian pyramids?
Yeah, sure.
My hot take, y'all are probably going to disagree with me on this. My hot take is that it created electricity. It was a power plant.
You think so?
I've heard that theory.
Yeah.
There's some stuff that kind of seems like possibly
Yeah.
with the way the chambers are and all that.
I think that they're power plants because there's evidence of an explosion inside. There's
Really?
Yeah, there's soot and different things. There's evidence of different chemicals being used, which create, what was it? Energy, heat. It was creating heat through the chemical reaction between the two chemicals. I can't remember all of it. It's been a long while since I heard all this. But everything that is created out of the structure of it, the canals and the channels that are carved out, a lot of it points towards a power plant. Counter to that, what were they using that power for? Where's the evidence of that, right?
Well, the quote unquote evidence that there was power there are the hieroglyphs that have like the light bulb,
Yeah, I was going to bring that up too.
which some people say that's not what that is. You're just looking into it, and maybe, but it's fun to think about.
With all the pyramids that what's his name again? Caverns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luke Caverns or
Yeah.
Luke Reagan.
Because Jeremy was talking about the hieroglyphs and everything like that. I was going to ask if those or similar hieroglyphs are found on the other pyramids, such as, the Mayans or the ones that he's found more specifically.
As far as to my knowledge, no.
See, this is something like if I had time, would be something I would look into because I'm interested, but I have other things I'm more interested in. So it's not high on the list, but if I had infinite time, this is something I would look into.
Yeah.
But I don't think the pyramids here are the same as the pyramids in Egypt.
No.
I don't think so either.
And I don't just mean like because their designs are different, but I don't think the purpose was the same. But I don't know enough about the Western pyramids.
This is just
compared to
a
the
throw out
Egyptian
theory. Let's say Egypt was the origination of it, because it seems like it is. That's just the speculation. In my opinion, if they were getting power through it somehow, what is everybody else going to do? They're going to try to copy it.
Yeah.
That's might be what's going on.
See, I don't think that the Western has anything to do with the Egyptian.
You think it's just an easy shape to make?
Well,
And the most stable shape to make?
I think because typically from what I know, again, I don't know a lot, but from what I know, the ones here, like the Aztec, I think it's Aztec ones or the Mayan ones, they kind of like have stairs on them and have like outside application.
yes. So
Whereas the Egyptian are all inside application. And I don't know if they also have inside as well. That's really where I don't know. So it could have been like insider tombs, but like to me, it feels like the pyramids here were more of like, let's get high close to the heavens. Let's get high. Let's smoke some drugs.
Whoa.
Some peace pipes and that's
the natives.
Let's get in an upper elevation, like to get closer to the heavens to do our rituals or whatever.
okay.
That's what I think theirs are for.
So the Egyptian pyramids, like you said, are much different compared to the pyramids over here.
They're
on
smoother,
the Americas. No.
They look smoother because of the way they're crafted, but like up close, you can tell that they're
blocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
The pyramids here, they don't go up to a point. They're flat on top. There's a temple on top. They were doing sacrifices on top of those pyramids.
Yeah.
Especially the Aztecs.
Yes.
They were known for that. All of the tribes, when the conquistadors came over, I shouldn't say all, but there were several tribes that united with the conquistadors to go against the Aztecs because everybody hated the Aztecs because they were capturing everybody and killing everybody for sacrifices.
They're very brutal.
Yeah,
they were horrible.
They're
society.
Not just the Aztecs. There were several.
There was the Mayans.
There were several that were more vicious and more aggressive than others. That to the point of when the Europeans came over, a lot of the tribes said, we'll team up with you instead, even though you're invading, because those guys are worse.
Yeah. So my theory of why every civilization has pyramids obviously goes back to the Tower of Babel.
Yep.
It goes all the way back to the Tower of Babel. Everybody was unified. Everybody wanted to create a structure to reach the heavens.
Okay.
What's the easiest and basic way to build high? You have to have a big base. And you go up. Pyramid.
What they failed to understand is they didn't need to build to get to heaven. They needed a drill to pierce the heavens.
A drill?
And neither of you watch anime, so you have no idea what I'm saying. Well, you do.
I do.
You do now, but you're relatively new to it.
Oh, no. I've been watching it for a while.
Not enough to watch Gurren Lagann.
No, I haven't watched that.
Gurren Lagann is the drill to pierce the heavens.
No, I don't know that reference, but
you should watch it. It starts off weird, but
okay. Well, anyway,
I'm gonna cut all that. I don't want to derail into anime talk
that's
again.
Fine. I don't care.
I care.
Obviously, they're different. They're different materials too.
Yeah, they're different materials. What we have around the world will dictate.
There's also the idea or the theory that the age of the pyramids is like double what we think it is.
The Egyptian pyramids, yeah.
Yeah, it's Egyptian.
Yeah, they I believe there's hieroglyphs that say that it was there before, like the Egyptians discovered it.
Yeah.
The Sphinx has the Sphinx head was resculpted.
Yeah, they redid the Sphinx
Yeah.
more than once, I think, but
Yeah.
at least once.
That's why
redid
the
it.
head is so small compared to the body.
Yeah.
So,
I remember hearing that.
and there's, oh man, this topic can go way deep, but there's water erosion on the Sphinx too.
Yeah, that's
And whenever,
people point to flood.
yeah,
Or the flood for that.
whenever the Europeans, I don't want to say colonized, but whenever they started going down to Egypt and walking around and looking at things and stuff, they noticed the pyramids. The pyramids were halfway buried at that point, and they were able to excavate them and get rid of the sand that was around them to finally see the base of them. And I mean, it's been there for a long time. Been there for a long, long time. I don't know how long. I don't know from where or when. Hot take: the Egyptian pyramids were the Tower of Babel.
I don't
No,
know.
I'm just joking.
I don't know about that one.
I'm just joking.
But let's bring it back to, I guess, what you're.
Luke Caverns. Oh,
yeah.
so, yeah. I mean, that's about all I got on him.
We'll have to do an update on him later on to see if he's
For sure.
discovered anything,
For
because
sure.
I'm sure as he goes to these places, he's going to find stuff.
But like, what do we know about it other than like they exist?
There's pyramids.
Other than that they exist, do we know anything?
Not much. That's what he's going to be focusing on in 26.
So this is like his project for this year.
Yeah. I mean, he just started releasing this stuff December 18th.
Oh, so this is right now happening.
Yeah. That's the
All right, I'll give him a pass for that.
that's the earliest photo that I can find. There's a bunch
Well, I
of
mean,
other-
obviously he's been working on this for a bit.
Yeah. There's a bunch of other archaeological pictures
Yeah.
that he has on his
Do you think like
Instagram page.
within archaeology, especially because everything's privatized right now, like to the max, that if you were an archaeologist and you found something, you'd be like, I'm not telling anybody.
Because of the Smithsonian. We'll come in there.
This is why I don't blame him if he has more information and he won't tell
Yeah,
us.
the government, the government is.
I hate the
they're
government.
gonna do two things. If it's
They're
interesting
going to
enough
tax
to
them
them,
and take it away.
they'll
That's
come
what they're
take
going to
it.
do.
Yeah.
and be like, "Woo, was it ever there?" And then a few years later, be like, "Well, we have," or they'll tax it heavily.
That's what
And they'll
they
probably,
did. That's what they did with the giant bones, man.
yeah. There's
the Smithsonian has the giant bones.
like I've heard if you make a discovery and you want to talk about it, the best course of action is probably to take it to the news, like
Yes.
an official news, not
Yeah,
your
possibly.
own YouTube, because whatever. But take it to the news, because
Tinfoil Testament.
then the government
That's right.
can't come in and take it without it being noticed that it
Yeah.
was taken.
If
Because
like,
there's been cases 100% where someone found something, the government knew one way or the other, and
Yeah.
then like overnight they came and took
this
it.
is
without,
literally
Yeah.
the Indiana Jones thing.
right.
Like it belongs in a museum where people can study it, but somebody's always trying to take it. Now, if I was an archaeologist, I'd probably like, let's say we go out somewhere, we discover something that's like, okay, this is way bigger than us. I'm probably telling somebody, yeah, me and Andrew and Jeremy, we were out there and we saw something in Florida. So I don't think it's in the southeast or or wherever he's saying. I know that would be lying,
Yeah.
but when somebody would ask me, I'd probably like, yeah, I saw something over there. Yeah.
Well, it's it's like deer hunting. You never tell the exact spot.
So hopefully he finds something and comes out and, like Jeremy said, gets it to a big news, or everybody just knows somehow.
Well, he's already done good enough to kind of be like, hey, look, I'm doing this, to where I think
Yeah,
there's enough
he's
eyes
not.
on it that
He doesn't have a small amount of followers either. I mean, he's got 310,000
And-
followers, and he's been on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
I mean, he's known.
yeah.
He's not extremely well known, but he's known.
He's known enough to get on Joe Rogan. That's huge.
I mean, we're gonna be on Joe Rogan one day.
He'll be here.
No, he won't because he doesn't go to people's places typically.
That's how big we'll be.
It's not even about big. It's just he just doesn't. We'll go to him. It's fine.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's fine.
It's your podcast.
it'd be all right.
It is mine. So we're going to him.
He loves conspiracy, so he might just be like, yeah, you guys get over here.
Nah,
It just depends how.
nah.
Yeah, he's an
We're-
unbeliever over here.
We got 25 subscribers. Joe, let's just tell you how to do it.
That's right. We know what we're doing.
We're helping him more than he's helping us, getting him some
Yeah.
exposure.
Yeah. He's taking our ideas from the lowly
mean,
small
no,
town
Apparently,
that's-
somebody's
podcaster.
taking yours
That's
from.
that's the other group that's taking all our ideas.
Before we even post them, which is wild. They might have talked about this. I don't know. If they have, it's been a long while.
Yeah, no, I meant what
He-
you just talked about.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like what you just talked about. Decent shot that they
Yeah.
will be because it's relatively.
the 18th that came out.
yeah, yeah.
This topic, yeah, they probably have talked about it.
I
Yours?
think I remember hearing them talking about something similar. But
I heard this from the Wi-Fi.
not. Oh, you heard this from the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, so I assume you probably have seen it. So you probably already know.
No.
The messages.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about.
No.
Yeah, I was
I
up on
thought
Ancient Cities.
you had moved.
Wow.
I
No.
thought you had moved on to it.
Okay. Dodleston Messages.
Donaldson?
We've got a board we write on here, and sometimes the words they just don't make sense to us.
Well, I can't read to begin with, so.
When Google comes up, it's spelled Dodleston.
Yeah, there's one way to spell it, and I didn't do it right.
Is it from the UK or something?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
them British.
Aluminiums.
So-
British folks.
So I know Vandy doesn't know anything about this, which is exciting. But do you actually you said the other day that you did, but I don't know if you do. The
I can't
Donaldson.
remember our conversation from the other day.
That's cool. Nice.
I really can't.
You're gonna
Well,
get,
you'll probably be like, yeah, I know this as we go.
you'll get
Okay.
halfway through it.
I won't
So-
interrupt you.
Before we begin, just to clarify, there are several versions of this story or tellings of this story. There's a book this one dude wrote, which is I think where most of this information that comes from.
My nemesis.
But-
books.
So like if someone's listening who's like, I've heard this story and this isn't quite right, well, my version's better. No. So
That's right.
So this is kind of like I have like a few sources. I'm kind of combined them all together. So
That's great.
take it as like, okay, if you've heard it a different way.
That's the way to do it. Put all the
Okay.
lies together. That way there's only one big lie and not
Yes.
multiple little lies.
So and some details just in general, they don't provide a lot of them, and it's hazy in general. So some people just kind of
Oh, so I've
When-
definitely heard this before then.
when
That's a joke, Jeremy.
so when people are telling it, they also kind of fill in the blanks on their own. So keep that in mind. This story is very interesting and takes so many turns.
What about lefts?
I said turns. I didn't specify which direction.
Take so many rights.
Okay. So we begin with a man named Ken Webster. He was-
the Webster Dictionary.
He wrote the dictionary and he left secret messages in it. The end. No.
Okay.
No.
Great pod topic.
No, okay. So he was born in 1955. He grew up he grew up in the UK, graduated University of Aberystwyth in 76 and was a teacher by the 80s. And he had a girl. This is not what makes the story.
I was going to
He
say
had a
this is a lot of-
girlfriend.
He had a girlfriend. He's like in his 30s. He has a girlfriend who's 19.
Oh,
Already. So
not illegal, but what?
yes. So it's like you're a teacher and you're teaching someone or you're dating someone who's just out of school. Feels a little weird. But, I
Yeah.
guess that's the 80s for you. So in 84, Ken and his girlfriend and another friend move into a cottage in the village of Dodleston, which is in the UK. It's just like a normal, small, quaint village town, whatever. And so they move in, and shortly after they move in, some weird stuff starts happening. Well,
Ghosts.
actually, sort of. First, before the weird stuff starts happening, in the 80s, apparently, at least in the UK, there was before the internet, computers were relatively new for home use. So people didn't even have them in their homes. And so the school that Ken was working for loaned computers to employees to just take home, which is weird. But apparently that was a thing that they did
cool.
in the 80s. So he borrowed a computer, took it home for the friend. I forget his name, but I'll probably say it at some point.
Sir Willington.
Because of three of them, but he brought it home because he was just interested in computers in general, and the other friend wanted it for stuff. So they brought home a computer, hooked it up. And it was shortly after that weird thing started happening.
The computer was possessed and it took out its wires and started flapping its wires. everywhere.
Nick was the friend that was staying with them.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like,
So no wires involved.
no wires involved.
Okay. Man.
So they would start waking up and they'd go into the kitchen and the chairs would be stacked on top of each other.
Odd.
Or bottles would be stacked. Or stuff would just be moved all into the corner, but everything was like neat and organized, but stacked and moved around. Or they would start hearing like footsteps in the middle of the night, but there was nobody there. And they would see like footprints.
So an ODD ghost.
But
OCD.
they were like, this is weird, but they
OCD.
didn't.
The OCD ghost.
They didn't really look into it at all. They're just like, oh, it's a poltergeist. These things happen.
Yeah.
Laughed about it. They thought, oh, someone's just joking with us, messing with us, whatever.
They're cleaning it. But
They were weirdly casual about it. In my opinion, I think if repeatedly someone was stacking my stuff in my kitchen overnight or when I was away at work, even if I didn't think it was like poltergeist, I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, stop
Yeah.
it. Like,
I have my stuff set up in a certain way. Don't mess with it.
But
this stupid ghost.
whatever. They just went with it and were just kind of ignored it. But then it got close to Christmas. And Ken and his girlfriend
You wrapped
and
all the
Nick,
papers.
Ken and his girlfriend and Nick were
19-year-old
out.
girlfriend.
They were out in the town, just whatever. Nobody was home. When they got home, the computer was on. And so they're like, well, that's weird. I thought we turned it off. I guess we didn't. No big deal. And so Ken started to get on the computer. And this was like back when they had to check indexes and there wasn't a desktop. They had to do commands and stuff.
Floppy disks and all that.
And so he was doing the stuff to boot it up. And they saw a file that none of them made. So he's like, okay, let's open. Is a text file, or I don't know what the exact extension, because it was for a program called Edword, like ed and then Word. It was word processing back then. I don't know. I'm assuming ED was like education. I don't know. But
Edward. What a name.
anyway, he opened the file, and the file was just text, and it said, Ken, Deb, Nick. True are the nightmares of a person that fears. Safe are the bodies of the silent world. Turn, pretty flower, turn towards the sun. For you shall grow and sow, but the flower reaches too high. Get out your bricks and withers in the burning lights. Pussycat, pussycat went to London to seek fame and fortune. Faith must not be lost, for this shall be your redeemer.
What?
I'm lost.
So were they. They're like, what is this? None of them wrote it. Or they all claimed they didn't write it. They
Yeah.
were all not home. So they all had like alibis of like how it couldn't be us. So they're confused. Eventually, kids just like, look, the same people that keep sneaking in and stacking stuff did this. It's just someone messing with us. If we just stop paying it attention, it'll go away.
A ghost that stacks chairs and writes poems on a computer.
If they think it's
What?
someone that's messing with us, someone is breaking in, stacking our chairs, and then someone has broken in, didn't take the computer, just left us a text file.
Just left us a weird poem. And well, but they probably didn't lock the door back then. So breaking in is strong. Someone just entered the house and
Well, it wasn't the 50s. I mean, crime was still pretty good.
Pretty good.
Up pretty good.
yeah, but I mean, in the 80s, people did not lock their doors. Well, at least in the U.S.
I was going to say this is.
At least in the U.S. I don't know. They seem to think it's somebody messing with them. They're just like, if we just don't really pay much attention, it'll go away.
They didn't have the internet at this point, right?
No internet. So this could not. The internet, I think, existed technically, but nobody had it.
Nobody had a plug in.
Nobody.
Yeah.
It wasn't commercially
right.
Whatever.
Okay.
And they even if it was,
so that eliminates all that.
Yeah. No internet. Whoever did it had to be physically there doing it. So they took the computer back. Everything fine. And then in February, he borrowed another computer because they needed a computer again. And he left it on overnight. The next morning, there was another file.
See, that was his mistake. He left it on.
There was another file. This one was called RE-8. And again, nobody knows what this file is. All three of them. What?
Rate.
No, RE-8.
Rate.
Some people say there's supposed to be a C in the front for create, but
well, if there was supposed to be, but there wasn't, then it wasn't supposed
They were
to be there.
That was like people just like
if it's not there, it's not supposed to be there.
I wasn't even gonna bring it up because I think that's a stupid thing. It's like you're stretching.
Words mean things.
Anyway,
I know I say some stupid stuff. That's stupid.
So they opened the file again. None of them supposedly created it or wrote this. And this time, it was different than the first time. All of this is like in Old English, but I have it in a slight... It's still kind of a weird wording, but I have it in modern English. But this would have been in Old English, so some words would have been a little off. But it said, I write on behalf of many. What strange words thou speak, although I must confess that I have also been ill-schooled. Thou art a goodly man who hath fanciful woman who dwell in mine home. I have seen many alterations last each charge house and their home. 'Tis a fitting place with lights which devil maketh and costly things that only mine friend Edmund Gray can afford or the king himself. And then after that it had this line several times. 'Tis a great crime to hath bribed mine house. Has that several times, and at the bottom it has...
'Tis a great crime to rob my house.
Bribe.
To bribe
mine house. And then at the very bottom, a signature of LW.
Well, at least this one made sense.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to understand.
So, Ken prints the message and brings it to school to show to faculty because he's interested. They don't do anything with it. He just is like, they'll type anything or do anything. They just are like intrigued.
Yeah. Okay, kid.
What?
Like, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you're just doing this.
Yeah, some ghost typed this on your
But-
computer and your proof is bringing in a printed out sheet of it. Okay.
He brings the message to the school and shows it to staff. And a lot of them, and explains.
Wait, brings it to school. Okay, I know the guy's 30, but is he a professor there?
He's teacher.
Okay, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah, this
I
is
remember
Webster,
that.
man. This
Yeah,
is the dictionary.
I remember that now. Yeah, I forgot.
Yes. That's where he borrowed the computer
Yeah.
from in the first place. So he tells them, most everyone's just like, this is real funny. Like, either think he's just making it up or someone's pulling a fast one over you. Can't believe you're even looking into it at all. But one person, an English teacher named Peter Trinder, was interested because he knew about early English and was like, this is too close. It's not like perfect, but like this is very close to how they would have spoken and how they would have worded things, and their spelling is correct for that time.
What time period are they suggesting it is?
So he says this looks like it's 16th or 17th century. So it would have been like the 1500s.
Okay, so I know from the 1611 King James Bible, English then is almost unreadable as English today.
Yes.
So with what you read, I mean, that's...
Well, I told you, it's been changed to be with...
Okay, so it's...
It wasn't what I read as far as like what they actually saw, but it's been updated so we can read it.
Okay.
For the sake of this. But like the actual... That's why this guy was interested, because he said... Because it was that. It was where it's like, hey...
Do you have that original?
I don't know. I've seen some of it.
Womp, womp.
But like I said, it's
Let's
hard
see
to
if I
get...
can find it.
It's hard to get some of these details, but so some of the messages are only like the here's what it would be. But there are some of the messages that, spoiler, there's more messages later. That I've seen that were the old.
Okay.
I don't remember this one specifically. They have the example, but anyway. So the English teacher is interested, and is like, "Hey, let's look into this because whoever's doing this is really skilled or knows what they're doing. This is not just some random kid who's making stuff up. It's someone who knows. It's more elaborate." And another man, John Cummins, also kind of knew a little bit, and he agreed. And he said, "Why don't you try talking back and see if you get a reply?"
Ooh.
So Ken and the others sat down, and they typed a message to talk back to it. And so they said, "In the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, dear LW, thank you for your message. We are sorry for disturbing you. What would you like us to do? Did you live in a house on this land around 1620?" Because they're thinking they're just guessing a year, because the estimates would have put it 1500s, 1600s. "Do you want us to tell you more about our time? Why write a poem? Who is Edmund Gray? Is he related to the Edgerton family? Do you have a family? Is the King James or Charles Stuart? What was this village called Dodleston in your life? And how many families live here? Thank you for your messages. Thank you for not making us afraid. Ken, Debbie, and John." So they typed that. They saved the file. They leave it open. They leave for the evening, go hang out, gone for several hours. Again, all of them together, so none of them are home. No one's supposed to be home. When they return, there's an update.
It seems like a very elaborate prank.
So the message they got was, "'Twas an honest farm of oak and stone. It is helpful that you should tell me about thy time. Dost thou hath horse? Edmund Gray, brother of John Gray, lives at Kennerton Hall. The king, of course, is Henry VIII, who is 46. I know not of King James. Mine charge house is a place of law schooling. Signed, LW, 28th of March, Anno 1521.
Huh.
So they look into it, and the reply is not exactly straight with the facts, because Henry VIII was 30 in 1521. But Ken was like, whatever, it's a prank. Like, who cares if all the facts aren't right? Someone just tried to...
Yeah. They're messing with them.
There's some other stuff that doesn't quite line up. Like, it's close, but it's not exact. So it's like, clearly this is fake. But Ken kept borrowing the computer, or he would take it back and then like a week later get another one. Just so we could keep this going, because at this point they were hooked. They're like, let's just see where this plays out. Again,
Did at any time did they think to lock the door?
I don't know.
No, man.
I have no idea.
Who locks their door?
I guess not, unless they are locking it.
Did they turn it off?
Well, no, they would intentionally leave it on when they were doing these
Okay, so
experiments.
another question. That's not sarcastic. While the messages were going, were things still being stacked and rearranged, or did it stop while they were talking to you?
Mixed. It's mixed.
So it's not all the time.
Some say that it was still happening. Others say it didn't happen. I think my conclusion from I didn't look at a ton of stuff, but I read a few things. I think it was still happening, but just like not very often.
Not as frequent.
Yep.
So this ghost, quotation marks, this ghost was taking its frustration or energy, whatever, out on the computer by messaging instead of altering physical objects.
Maybe.
Okay.
As of right now, you can think that. Your opinion might change soon.
My opinion does not matter in the face of facts. So,
And all of these are facts. It's factually happened.
This guy
You better
wrote the
believe it.
dictionary. He's the one who gave you the definition of a fact.
Yes. So more messages
mom.
kept coming in as they were
Nice.
doing this. They would get details about the house, the village. The author talked about losing his wife and son to the plague. They talked about harvesting, of making cheese. And one thing in particular
everybody's got to know how to make cheese, man.
one thing in particular, though, that this is interesting. He said his home was made of red stone set on a pleasant parcel of land where they were living. Like, his house was there. They were living in his house, according to him, and it was made of red stone.
I thought you said earlier it was made of quaint stone and oak wood.
Well, here's the thing. The cottage was not redstone. But they were doing renovations. And when they were in the garden, under the kitchen floor, they found the cottage was built on top of another foundation, another building. And that building was made of red stone.
Yeah, they would have known this if they had figured out that the mud flood took everything out.
Well, this was after the mud flood. So because of the mud flood, they built on this guy's house.
See, it all makes sense.
But they found this out after. They didn't know this when they got this
yeah.
message. They found out after. Like, oh no, there was a house here with red stone.
So did they print these messages off the computer
I don't
and
know.
save them or as a file, a physical file?
They printed some, but I don't know all. And I don't know which ones other than the very first
I mean,
one.
it's not
the
proof
second
either
one.
way because
Someone could have typed it.
yeah,
Like
that's why this is like
there's zero way to prove this is real, but it's like it's not real, but it's interesting. And
yeah.
as I go, it gets more interesting. And like I said, I want this to be real. But then the tone of the messages started to kind of change a little bit. And they began to seem like they were getting concerned that, hey, you guys are intruding. And so he wrote a message being upset. And he signed it this time instead of LW, he signed it Lucas. Or not really Lucas, but it translated to Lucas now. I think it was like Luca or something. But it would have been like the Old English version of Lucas.
I kind of want to, for the sake of just exploring this, he's getting it on a computer. What is the other guy getting it on?
Computer.
They had computers back then.
Oh no, you're gonna find out.
Okay.
Continue.
Wait, so you're talking about the guy being from the other time period,
Yeah.
communicating with them in present?
Yeah, let's say that there is another guy who is communicating.
From the 1500s.
I'm getting it on my computer. What is the other guy, like a tablet or?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest
we
of
will
them
get
all?
there. We will get
Okay,
there.
all right, continue.
Not
Sorry.
that far from now. So basically, they learn. He starts signing messages with the name Lucas Wainman. So LW is Lucas Wainman.
Lucas Oil Stadium.
Meanwhile, the English teacher Peter is analyzing. So I guess they are printing it off because I don't think this guy's coming to their house for all this.
Okay.
He's analyzing it, and basically, the more as they keep going, he's more able to narrow it down, and definitely is like, yes, this is exactly how they would have been talking in the 1500s, and the details of claims they're making go from being wider claims or off claims to being pretty accurate, to where it's like, okay, now this lines up perfectly. There's no flaws here. So over time, the facts get better and they're able to pinpoint more closely to the time period.
So it's the guy doing better research.
Maybe.
Somebody's moving stuff around.
Oh yeah.
I'm waking up in
I'd
the
be
morning.
super annoyed, man.
Yeah,
I would be super annoyed. I had
Have you found out your dad was getting up every night and
dude,
stacking chairs.
dude. I had several roommates during college, and oh my gosh,
they were doing this?
if they did that constantly with my stuff, I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind. Be like, I've got my stuff in a spot for a reason. Leave it alone.
But at some point, Ken mentions to Lucas about being there in 1985. So when Lucas saw this, and by the way, keep in mind, the replies are not instant ever at any point. The entire time, it's always
Overnight. And stuff
overnight,
like that.
or we're intentionally leaving
when you're
alone.
not by the computer.
So
types
I
it
don't
out.
want it to seem like suddenly like, oh, now it's replying instantly. That never happens,
Yeah.
as far as I know.
Dude, I'd just say, okay, Andrew, you and I, we're staying up and we're watching this thing.
From a distance with our binoculars.
And no, through our scopes.
We'll put the computer by a window, go outside, and look at
Yeah.
it through the window.
It's Jeremy. I knew it.
Anyway, so finds out there in 1985. And so he says, you said your time be 1985.
It be 1985.
We thought you were all from 2109 like your friend.
Huh.
They brought the leames boist. It did grow green in mine chimney. It spake without hands, I am afraid, for it lighteth but hath no flame.
Oh, what? Hold up.
Leames boist, by the way,
Let's
means box of lights.
Oh,
Christmas lights.
let's dissect
Yeah,
that.
we
Let's dissect
We
that.
got to go
Start
over
from
that
the
whole
beginning.
thing.
You said your time be 1985. We thought you were all from 2109 like your friend.
2109. Okay.
They brought the box of lights. It did grow green in mine chimney. It spake without hands. I am afraid, for it lighteth, but hath no flame.
It lighteth, but it has no flame.
It
sounds
grows.
like Christmas lights or light bulbs or something.
It grows and it speaks without hands.
Glows.
AI.
And it speaks without hands. Right? Is that what it said? It said something like it didn't have hands.
Yes.
Okay. It speaks without hands. I don't know. I
It's,
don't know why that's.
It sounds like they're just speaking in riddles.
There's plenty of people that speak without hands. So, it's green. It glows. It speaks. Has no hands. I know what this is.
I am afraid, for it lighteth, but hath no flame. Do you know what it is?
I know what this is.
What is it?
This, by all accounts, and there's no argument against this fact, it is a Shrek nightlight for a child.
False. Do you have an idea of what it is?
No, that.
Do you have an idea of what it is?
I'm literally Googling it, and nothing's helping me.
It's the computer.
See, I'm thinking of a computer
Okay,
as
so-
today's standards.
No,
but
it's the computer back then where literally it was just the green
Black
words.
and
So
green,
a
yeah.
person from 2109 brings a computer from 1985 to be able to speak to somebody that's in 1985.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, back
So
then they
we're
only
dealing
had that
with-
kind of computer. He didn't know what we would have now.
We're dealing with time travel here, obviously.
No, it's got to be a hoax because our computers look nothing like just green.
No, but back then it
Have you-
was,
have you-
it was
have you
black with
seen-
green text.
That's why I think it's somebody from then playing a hoax on them, because if it was a real time traveler, they'd be like, yeah, we got iPads and stuff, and it's a bunch of
why
lights.
So unless some guy, just two bros said, you know what would be the funniest thing ever? Let's go to 1985. Doesn't mention what brand of computer it is.
Apple.
Yeah, it's BBC something. It's some
Okay.
British.
Okay, I was going to mention a Mac, but
Nah, they weren't alive.
let's go to 1985, steal a computer, bring it to somebody in a quaint town in 1611 or whatever, and give it to them.
No, there's
And then give them the capability to contact somebody from 1985
Yeah.
when there's no internet in 1985 to be able to contact. Not to mention
electricity.
not to mention the electricity. Not to mention that there's no satellite, there's no ether cable, there's nothing to be able to even possibly connect to computer. How many hundreds of years later? 400 years later?
It's got to be a hoax.
Womp womp.
So-
Jeremy, your story's crap. Next
It's not
story.
his story.
I'm not done. It still isn't. It's still got some turns.
Some rights or lefts,
Some both.
or just slight
So-
curvature.
Ken decided if someone else is talking, let's talk to them. So he leaves a new message, simply calling 2109.
Calling 2109. Calling 2109.
This time they got a message. Ken, Deb, Peter. We are sorry that we can give you only two choices. One, that you may have an instant understanding but cause what should not happen.
Okay, yes, I'm taking that choice.
Or two, to understand that you three have a purpose that shall change the face of history.
That's
Dictionary.
We must not affect your thoughts directly. We are all part of the same God, whatever it is.
okay. Whatever.
And then
Hoax.
after 2109 starts talking, the poltergeist stuff really picks up again.
Because they're talking to a demon.
So it either stopped entirely or it was very, very seldom this whole time. They're talking to 1540s. Now they're talking 2109 suddenly a lot. It's happening a lot. It's the furniture. It's getting cold randomly.
Demon.
There's footprints again. There's
Where these
weird
footprints
sounds.
have to have hooves.
no.
Okay.
So it got so bad that Deb, which is the girlfriend, rented out another house nearby just so they could go somewhere else to sleep. Nick moved out. He said, forget this. And he moved out.
So finally they're doing something rational.
Meanwhile, Debbie starts looking into other things.
Oh, Debbie.
And she realizes
Midwestern
That-
Debbie.
running right through their area and going underneath that cottage is a ley line.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what a ley line is? Does everybody know what a ley line is? I'm going to explain it for the
Yeah.
listeners. It's like this line of and it's a line that connects different prehistoric or ancient sites and is regarded as something that's full of energy, usually spiritual or whatever, and is connected to paranormal phenomenon. So basically, it's like you draw lines connecting ancient sacrificial spots or ancient like
Ancient cities.
pyramids.
So the pyramids, right?
Yes.
So the Egyptian pyramids were a power plant that connected to other pyramids that were also
And it went underneath
batteries.
there. It went underneath their
Yes.
house.
And it goes to Britain, and Britain said,
And
Now
2109
we have-
said, I want me some of that energy.
now we have a computer. Let's give him the computer. Now he can manipulate things in their house.
So she notices that and starts saying, okay, maybe there's some ley line stuff going on here. And then she started having dreams about Lucas
Okay, demonic.
and was like basically having conversations with him in person. So they do what any normal person would do under this circumstance, and they contact the Society of Psychical Research.
Yes.
And so 2 investigators show up, David and John.
Let's not bring a priest into this. Let's bring
And
scientists.
David and John did a test. They had 10 questions that they were going to ask 2109, and someone from the future would know the answer to.
Who's the 67th president of the United States?
But it had to be questions that they can verify are also true.
John Jones.
So they did 10 questions. I don't know if the 10 questions are somehow available somewhere. I couldn't find them. I think if people have them, they're not real because this was done in secret. They were very specific. We were like, Ken, Debbie, and Nick, who is not as involved anymore, they can't know what these questions are at all because if we're trying to prove if it's real or not, we can't let these 3 know because if they're doing it. So they have no idea what this is.
So what questions would have?
I don't know. I've never seen.
Because, man, that's so weird.
But they asked 10 questions in secret, and it was deleted. So Ken, Debbie, and Nick supposedly never saw them, had no idea what they are.
Anything that they ask now or then, somebody in 2109 can Google or whatever the equivalent is then, because we're going to have insane capabilities of research by then. I mean, they would know the answer instantly.
They get a response back from 2109. It says, David, you interfere with communication. Next time you decide to perform your little experiment, you must be clear from here. We suggest you try someone else to sit with, Debbie. Yes, we are what you would call a tachyon universe, but your understanding is incorrect. We ask nothing more of you than to carry on as you would prefer. We will have John present if given choice, or you may bring another as mentioned. No, it is no concern to us that this is not proved. We will give you a plotting of a star next time. We move at a speed so that we cover every point in your time and universe. We have no form. We need of a heat energy that you will not have heard of.
Demons.
Now, David was a little shocked by this. They didn't really answer any of their questions. They basically dodged the questions, but they addressed every question. So it's not like they just had random stuff. Like everything they said related to the questions, and it was in order of the questions they asked, but they were non-answers.
Did it say how long it took them to answer?
No. I mean, it may be somewhere, but nothing that I saw.
Okay.
The fact that it answered all their questions or addressed all their questions stood out to them. So Ken and Debbie were like, okay, cool. This is basically proof or strong enough evidence to say this is not us because we don't know what those questions are. So if it's a hoax, it's not us doing it. This should clear our names. However, David and John said, no, I think it is you. We think that what happened is you put a bug in the room so you knew the questions. You had some device that could tell what buttons we were typing on the keyboard, and you put it all together and you knew the questions. I guess their thing was it's too perfect of knowing the questions, but not giving an answer at all. It's it's too safe. If it were from the future, they could have given us an answer, but they didn't give us an answer. But they addressed all of it, so that made them more suspicious of you had a bug in the room. You had some way of knowing the question, and you're trying to trick us. So they actually pushed them away from this, and eventually the SPR left. They said, "Nope, we're done. We're on. We don't care. This is fake."
Yep,
it's fake.
It's demons. If what they're saying is true, if they're not faking all this?
So Ken started looking for other ways to prove that this was real. There was another teacher at his school, Frank Davis, who came over to witness. He stepped into the study where the computer was set up, but he didn't even make it to the desk before noticing something was weird. He was like, the temperature of the room is really cold. It shouldn't be this cold. You can see your breath. And it felt weird. He's like, it just felt like something heavy was in the room, and then it just went away, and the temperature went back to normal. So they didn't even get to the computer. Frank was too freaked out at first. So they went to the kitchen and talked about like what even just happened with like, what was this weird feeling? Eventually they do go back to the computer, and now there's a message on it. It was a message from the 1500s, but it was slightly different in tone. Like if someone else was making the message and not Lucas. And as they went on, found out it was someone calling himself John, who said he was a friend of Lucas and that he had bad news. Lucas had been imprisoned, accused of witchcraft and communicating with spirits, because if y'all noticed, one of the earliest details, this is why this hoax is like elaborate, because if you look back near the beginning, there were some details there that match. Lucas in like his first message said, "I speak on the behalf of many." So the idea is Lucas was the main one talking, but people in town knew. This was not a secret to Lucas. People knew of the box of lights and were intrigued by it or scared. Now he's been arrested for witchcraft, communicating with spirits, because I guess they're like, this is demons.
Well, yeah. Burn them at the stake.
And then they didn't get any messages for quite a while. They tried and nothing ever came back. So they're like, okay, Lucas has been arrested. He's either been killed already or he's rotting in jail.
That's the guy. Somebody else is going to pick it up because they like to be copycats.
Meanwhile, Peter Trender, the first English teacher that was on board with stuff, still doing research, is confirming more things. Books that Lucas said he was reading or whatever existed at that time, would have been something he could have been reading if he was in Oxford, like he said. More and more details are lining up and sounding correct, which is getting Ken and Debbie more and more convinced this was a real person. And they're getting worried, thinking, did this guy get killed because of us?
Womp womp. Guys from 1540.
He would have been dead by now anyway.
Yep.
So eventually they decided if other people in the village knows about this and still sees this, we can use that to our advantage. So they sent a message through the computer, basically saying, if you have Lucas in prison, let him go, or we're gonna curse you. We're gonna do something, and you're gonna have your family line's gonna be cursed. Anyone who's involved with the arrest and keeping him in prison in this town's gonna be cursed. Scaring them. And the people got scared, and so the next thing they know, Lucas is sending a message saying that he was freed.
Supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
I don't know. This seems like a big elaborate prank.
So they were talking to Lucas, and they started noticing, they were asking them more questions, and they started noticing he was like, all the weird stuff happening to them has been happening to Lucas's house. That's what ramped up the witch hunt, was like at the same timing that their stacks started happening, the cold, the weird feelings, the footsteps, the hearing children laughing and all that happening to him too, led to him being arrested. So they're just like, okay, this is weird. Ken and Debbie had thought it was Lucas doing it. Like Ken and Debbie thought this. They thought somehow our house is connected to his time. And so what they do in their time affects us in some way. So when he's moving his stuff around, it moves it around here too. Now they're like, that's not the case. So they're like, what if it's 2109? So Lucas says, move the box to your kitchen. Move it out of this space it is into the kitchen. And try to be more private with communicating. 2109 kind of pops in and is like unhappy and is like, don't share details, don't be specific. But they don't trust 2109, so they start telling Lucas stuff. Eventually, Lucas says, don't even use the computer. If you have some sort of way for me to write, leave that out. So they leave some paper and pen. And then the next day, there was a letter or like a note written on the paper in the same way that it was in the computer. But this time it was signed Thomas, not Lucas. And Lucas explains his real name is Thomas, but he couldn't share that through the computer because he didn't want his name being associated with witchcraft. So he used a fake name, and 2109 was threatening him. But he's like, I left clues, and apparently, I don't know what the clues are, but he left clues. His name was really Thomas. So I find out this dude's name is actually Thomas Hardin. And
he's still from 1540.
He's still from 1540. Okay. And they find out that there was a man who went to Oxford during this time period with the name Thomas Harwoodin, which isn't exactly the exact spelling of what his name is, but it's very close. Enough that you could say the Old English threw it off. So they're like, oh, this is the guy. This is proof that this is real. Then the BBC computer moves on its own into the bathroom.
What?
And Ken found a message scribbled on the floor. Ken Deb Peter, we have reason to believe you have Lucas Wayneman's true name. If this is correct, you must say so we can rectify the problem before it is accepted. And Ken and Debbie say, we're not talking 2109 anymore. They talk to Thomas a bit more in secret or trying to be secret. And they basically learn that some of the facts that were wrong, Lucas never said. It was altered, and they assume by 2109 trying to fudge details so they can't interfere or something. But basically, every problem that they had early on is accounted for. Thomas is like, this is what I actually said. At this point, the Society of Psychical Research, they're like, we're done entirely. We're over it. This is crazy. This is clearly a hoax. The two teachers are the prime suspects. There's probably a third person involved as well. One of them said, I wish it were real because it would have been the most unique phenomenon ever recorded, but it's just, it's not real. It's fake. And so Ken is like, well, now no one's going to believe us. What are we going to do? And then 2109 sent a message. We ask you to do the following. There is a brilliant researcher, UFOologist. We know you don't like the word. His name is Gary Rowe. His ideas differ to yours, but nevertheless, he can help you with a couple of your problems. You may phone him at the number below and invite him to talk with you. When he comes, show him this message and ask him what he makes of it. Peter must do the telephoning. Tell him you got this telephone number from a UFO enthusiast, 2109. And then it has the phone number. So Gary Lowe, UFO investigator, comes over. He's super skeptical. But he's just like, whatever. I'm a UFOologist. I don't get a lot of work. People think I'm crazy. I might as well deal with this. So he comes over, brings all of his equipment that he would do, and starts doing scans, starts checking on things, and also begins trying to communicate with 2109 directly. So what he did was somewhat similar to the other people talking in private, but the way they did it was he would put a letter inside, he would write a letter, put it in an envelope that was sealed, put it on top of the computer. Wouldn't type it into the computer. Then it would see if they would get a response. When 2109 responded, because they did, the message was printed out and put into an envelope without Ken reading it. So Ken never knew what he said, never knew what the message said on the computer. Gary would go home, read it in private. They sent messages back and forth for a while. Then Gary sent a final message that Ken was able to see. Greetings. I am instructed to apologize, but in any event, I would have done so of my own volition. There will be a letter hopefully this weekend. I am instructed to apologize to Ken and Debbie. I must try and answer your last letter. It would appear that you are more important than I realized in the scheme of things. Then Gary leaves. Ken gets mad at him, and Gary just says, I forget it, and leaves. They never get in contact with him ever again. Meanwhile, Thomas explained that a man stepped from his fireplace, told him to not be afraid, and left behind another box of green letters.
A box of green letters is just a computer, right?
Yep. So they left him another computer. I don't know why. On March 21st, Thomas sends what would be his last message. My true fellows and sweet maid, Grosvenor has said that Thomas must go. I know it is for the best because the people of Dodleston are very wary of me. It is good to know that all will change and there are true men to follow like Ken and Peter. Though 400 years is a long time and there is much to happen to mankind, perhaps you will come to Oxford. Now I think there is no danger for me there, for I hear the king is very sick and all is quiet in the church. I shall go by boat from Cheshire to Bristol. I shall try to make my stay at Brasenose. I'll write my book about my brothers and maid and the end of Lucas and our love for one another. One day you will all sit down at my table and for wine and mead by the river in Oxford. We shall read each other's books and laugh. In your time my book is old, but I shall not go to my God until mine book is written. Then we will all be truly embraced. My love for you all. I shall wait you in Oxford. Thomas Harden. That's the last thing they ever hear from him. And then they get one last message from 2109. A few days later. There is another person to come. They will be the help we need. You will know when they come. Thomas did write his book, and he soon died shortly after. He placed it in a secure place. It shouldn't take too many years to find it. Though he wrote it in Latin with the help of a friend that he met in Oxford. The inscription reads, Me writes this with the hope that mine friends will one day find this book. Then may our lands be not so distant. We will finish now. You have a lot of work to do. There is no need to write back as we will have gone. Thank you for your cooperation. 2109. And no more communication followed. By the end of this, they'd sent over 300 messages back and forth.
That's a lot of messages.
But that's the end.
And that's a long story.
Yeah, I know it was long. I knew it was going to be long.
That's a whole podcast in and of itself.
This is going to be a long one. I don't care. I think this story is interesting.
It's a little hard to follow, but it's a hoax. It's
100%.
I want it to be real.
Sure. I mean, if it's real, man, that's a really cool story.
I want it to be real. I want it to be like that. For some reason, 2109, they were trying to communicate with the 1500s, but somehow got hijacked.
That's messed up.
Because, like, from what I understand, it's like the whole them being connected was not intentional.
So it never really explained how.
No.
Well, the 2109 was doing it, but
maybe he thought that it was like a hobby. It was like a little hobby for him and his friends to like just joke around or whatever, kind of like this podcast is.
It got bigger. We're not joking around.
We're dead serious.
Yeah,
And don't you ever said I did.
I gotta go, Andrew.
yee, son.
I believe.
I want it to be real so I can contact them.
But just use chat.
No, Chat GPT is terrible.
It's like us. Well, we left it here, and it just, we came back the next day, and there's a message.
So it's the precursor to ChatGPT, all the way in 1985,
Sure.
It's a computer. There's going to be messages there.
It's
I know
just
what's wrong with it.
So slow it takes overnight. to
Yeah.
answer.
It's thinking.
Yep.
It's thinking for 8 hours.
Yep. That's how long it takes.
All right. I got something a little bit different for tinfoil or truth today.
Cool. Bet.
I was doing
Do
a
it.
little boop-a-doop-a-doo research. And
Boop.
for some reason, odd laws caught my attention. So
You want to hear an odd law from Tennessee?
it might be on here.
I doubt it.
Okay, go.
It is illegal.
To have a donkey in the bathroom or bathtub.
No, it is illegal to hunt whale from a boat in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
That's one of my favorite laws.
Gotta get in those trees.
I don't know how or why that law became a law.
This was back when they had myths of the Loch Ness Monster and
guess.
stuff. And they're like,
It's-
in the Cumberland
No,
River.
it's preparing for the future when the tides rise and we are now coastline.
We have whales in the
somebody's-
Cumberland.
Somebody saw into the future.
2109.
The whales migrated from the Mississippi to the Cumberland.
Could you imagine? You're just catfishing, and then all of a sudden your line just it's gone
Yeah,
forever.
well,
Not
that's-
getting that back.
Could you imagine you're just catfishing? And your date's a whale and you've been catfished?
Could you imagine that wearing
Rough.
SpongeBob and Penny is running around here?
We got rid of pennies.
Anyway,
Oh, was
tinfoil.
it Pearl? Is it Pearl or Penny? Pearl.
It's Pearl. I was like, I don't know. It's a penny.
Well, it was close enough.
No. Back to tinfoil.
All right. So today, like I said, is going to be a little bit different for tinfoil or truth. I'm going to go over weird laws, and you guys got to tell me, is it true or if it's not. Kind of doesn't work for tinfoil. But some of these are really weird.
So it's just one
Like, instead of giving you two
Yeah,
headlines,
it's
I'm going
just
to
one.
give you a
a
law.
and we say it's real, not real.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So for the first one, in Carmel, California, you need a permit to wear high heels over 6 inches tall and that have a top smaller or wider than the base.
True. It's California. You need a permit for everything.
It makes sense. True.
That is true. In Alabama, driving a car.
Sorry, I couldn't argue with your logic on that one.
I mean, it just
Hey, it stands up.
California.
In Alabama, it is illegal to drive a car while barefoot or while with flip-flops.
True.
true.
False.
What?
It should be.
I've
It
heard
should be, though.
I've heard that it's illegal to do that.
In certain states, not in Alabama. They're backwoods
You'd
there.
think Florida'd be the one that says that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida, they're like
Coastal cities.
They don't care about that.
Get them grippers out. Put them on the metal.
Get them dogs out.
Put them dogs to work.
So in the UK, it is offensive to handle salmon in suspicious circumstances.
True.
True.
It is true.
I'm gonna say true on all these because, like,
I think I've heard that one.
what does that even mean?
What does suspicious mean?
And it's
I
not even
don't know.
illegal. It's just offensive.
It is an offense.
Britain is Britain
it's
is a
offensive,
weird
so
country.
Did
dude.
I? It's an offense.
You said it's offensive. It's
I
like,
think
okay, that's not really a law.
Technically, it's a misdemeanor if you are convicted. Like, they can tack that on.
It's just
Charged
like,
with dealing with the salmon in
It's
a
just-
weird way.
oh, God.
It's very weird. In New Jersey, it is illegal to drive with your interior dome light on.
False.
False.
That is false.
Ha.
I wanted to say true because I'm like, we keep saying the same thing, but false.
Well, it was our entire parents' generation were always saying, "You can't turn that light on; it's illegal."
Dude, that was ingrained in me until
parents-
Really?
I Googled it.
I
at
was
one point.
never told it's illegal.
My parents did that.
The cops are going to pull us over.
I was
Yep.
Yes.
no, I was told turn it off because my dad didn't like having it on because it made it hard for him to see.
I was told that too.
That's the real reason.
And it is true. It is harder to see if the light is on for some reason.
Yeah.
That's what I was never told it's illegal.
In Singapore, importing chewing gum is generally prohibited with certain expectations, i.e., medicinal or dental gum.
True.
You know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to say something different this time. False.
It is true. You cannot import chewing gum unless it is medicinal or dental. So, weird. In Grain Valley, Missouri, flashing your headlights to warn other drivers about speed traps is illegal.
True.
It should be true everywhere.
I got mixed. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about that.
No, I don't. I think
It is illegal.
it should be everywhere. And also having Google Maps saying, there's a cop up there, slow down, is also something that should not be happening.
Yeah.
It's like the whole point is don't be speeding, and you're just saying like, oh, you want to speed, we'll tell you, so you'll know when to slow down.
Yeah.
No, stop.
See, Google got in trouble from this, and Apple got in trouble from this because they have that little feature that says police ahead.
Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It still does it,
Yeah, it still does.
and it should be illegal.
I'm with it.
I'm for it.
For it, as in you want it to be illegal?
Yes, because yes, a lot of drug confiscations and
Yeah.
cops finding kidnapped individuals or smuggling of some kind, whatever, always happens. Not always, but a lot of the times happens through traffic stops.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
I that's an even stronger point
Yes,
than what I have.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
But-
for it.
We just don't want you to speed.
However, I'm not doing anything illegal except for speeding.
Which means you are.
That
My
This is
saying
illegal.
So me,
you don't like it because you don't like having to deal with getting
Yes.
caught speeding, which is
Yes.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand
don't
that,
speed.
but even if like you don't agree with the speed laws and you think that either speed limits should be different or it shouldn't happen at all, whatever, it's fine. You can have that opinion. But your opinion doesn't change the fact of what's law. And if you want it changed, change it. Don't say, well, I don't have to follow the
Vote
law.
for it.
I don't have to follow the law because I don't like it.
Well,
and then if
what
I
if
get
I-
consequences for not following the law that I don't like, it's not fair. It's like,
Not
no,
my president.
Well then,
no.
I'm just gonna go shoot a whale in my boat.
You can try.
Good luck with that.
And
I will.
Don't you be shooting a Karen.
I'll get your mother out there.
Hey, boy.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
It is what it is.
Whose
Joke.
mom, mine or his?
I'm not mad.
The listeners.
Oh, because I was like, if you're talking about mine, good luck. She's not even in the state.
No,
True.
the listener. I'm gonna go to your house and kidnap your mother.
Let me get through 3 more of these, and we'll be done with this segment. But in France, you can legally marry someone who has died with special approval if the parents are living.
Repeat that?
In France, you can legally marry someone who has died with special approval from their parents.
I'm gonna say true on this one.
True.
It is true.
God, that's so messed up.
I
Dude.
heard of that.
That's so messed up.
I didn't know it was France. I thought it was Japan.
So
Might be Japan as
okay,
well.
so you're gonna have to elaborate on this one. You're going to have to elaborate on this one.
Why?
Because you're just marrying quotation.
You don't
marrying
get
that
the
person.
body, obviously.
That's what I was saying.
I
Like-
could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure what basically this is. Like, say you've been engaged.
Exactly. This was
And-
what the courts ruled.
To get the benefits of that person.
Yes, because you had already set the date. You've already signed the marriage. I think the exceptions are the parents have to approve it,
Yeah.
and the marriage certificate has to already have been gotten and or signed.
Okay. See, I can understand that. I get that.
It's not like that person died. I want to marry him. I want to marry him.
That's why I was like, you got to.
They can't tell me no now.
You've got to explain
They
on
told
that
me no
one.
3 times. They can't tell me no now. I'm marrying him.
That's Ugh.
If that's the case, I
Ugh.
agree.
All right, last two. In Canada, there's a
True.
federal law that there are legal limits on how many coins you can use to pay a debt in one transaction.
False.
Yeah, false.
It's true.
I should have stuck with my gun. I thought it was like too good to be true.
In Tennessee, you can be pulled over while eating and driving.
True.
False.
It is true. It is considered
Distracted
distracted driving.
Yeah, I only
Oh,
said false
dude.
because you said this is the last one, and I was like, on the really off chance it's not true, I'll tie it up, but I can't win. So. But I was pretty sure.
So don't eat
driving.
and drive, people.
I
Don't
will.
drink and
I-
drive. Don't eat and drive.
You really shouldn't.
You shouldn't,
I
but I will.
or text and drive. I got
Don't
pulled.
text and drive.
I got
yeah.
pulled over and got a ticket one time because I literally skipped an ad,
Ah,
and cops saw me do it.
And you went like that. Just
And-
pressed it.
And then cops saw me do it. It's like, that was distracted driving. I was like, I literally skipped an ad. That was it. And he's like, don't matter, you're distracted. And I'm like,
Technically, you are allowed one touch in Tennessee.
well, it was on my phone.
Ah,
That was the thing. It wasn't on the dashboard. It was on my phone. So I literally picked up my phone, tapped skip, put it down. That was it.
using too many interwebs.
And dude, the cop was like, doesn't matter, distracted driving. I'm like,
would you get a ticket?
yeah. Yeah, the only ticket I've ever gotten. I got pulled over more than once, and that's the only time I actually got a ticket.
Nice.
Was for skipping an ad.
Well, you know what?
Shall we finish this out with our last topic?
I was thinking we'd start it with our last topic.
Your internet's dead.
Yeah, so I was doing more research, and I was going to talk about the Predator, not the kind that are
The hockey team?
no,
Well, you was a
like
Predators.
Alien
Nashville
versus
Preds.
Predator, the from the movies, Alien versus Predator or Predator or Prey, whatever. But I decided to keep that one in the chamber for maybe a future episode. I got to do a lot more research on that. But dead internet, or the dead internet theory, it's kind of been around for a while now. I think everybody's heard about it.
Let's see.
But when it first came about was on some Reddit forums and 4chan forums back in 2016, where people were starting to really notice. This was like back when the craze of pop-up ads was really, really big. And people were starting to realize that most of the content on the internet, including quote unquote the users of the internet, they're not real.
Well, just look at the comments on Instagram.
Yeah, a lot of them are just nonsense, clearly bots. And for social media, you can kind of track it, but not as well as like YouTube can track it, because YouTube uses retention, whereas like Instagram's, what is it, X, formerly known as Twitter,
I
Facebook.
hate it how everybody still says that.
yeah,
Well,
I hate it.
They say it to
To
jab
spite 'em,
at Elon because they think they in their heads are like, Elon, every time we say that, it's getting so mad. And it's like, bro, he never got mad once.
like he doesn't care.
He, like you guys think that he's thinking about you guys all the time, and he might be thinking about you more than he should be,
Yeah,
but he does not care.
No,
Stop it. You're just
I've
obnoxious.
always just taken it as to make sure the boomers know what website you're talking
No,
about.
no. It's
that too.
It's the millennials and
Okay.
late and early Zoomers that are literally just, they think it's funny.
It's
I've
brain rot.
seen people sharing it saying, "Look at this, it still says this. He's getting so mad right now. You know it." And it's like, he doesn't care. Like,
They're making you mad.
You're just they're obnoxious. They're just obnoxious. It's like, stop it.
Stupid.
They're just making Jeremy mad.
Yes, they are. They're making me mad that they're just so full of themselves that they're like flaunting it. And it's like, get over yourself.
Do the opposite then and say X, or Twitter, now known as X.
No, just don't even mention it. Just be like, always known as X.
But, well, he's part of the internet. So obviously, like I was saying, on all the social media platforms, you get these click farms where You can literally pay for thousands and probably millions of followers, subscribers, likes, dislikes, whatever.
Yeah, you get all kinds of
Like you can, even without it, there have been a lot of YouTubers, especially because they are the ones that mostly come out and talk about it, that they will notice that one of their videos or 3 of their videos or in a specific month or whatever has outrageous numbers of views. But you go in and the retention time is like 10 seconds. It's nothing where somebody actually sat down, watched it, and then they will be flooded with thousands of comments.
Just like our videos.
no.
Actually, our retention is
kidding.
pretty good in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
The 7 views we get, they listen to most of it.
Yeah.
So probably not this time. This is gonna be a long one.
Our
Sorry.
retention span on most of our videos is over 20 minutes, and that's big on YouTube because everything is like short form content.
Yeah.
But back in 2016, before the big boom of like AI,
That means they get to my part and say, "Yeah, I'm done."
ouch, I don't even get to my part.
They skip. They skip to your part.
No, it's because I'm too boring.
No, then it would stop at 2 minutes in.
Yeah, they like you.
They listen to you.
He
They
has
get
the real fans.
They get to me and say,
But when would you guys say was the big boom of AI?
"When was the big boom?"
Yeah, or are we still kind of in it?
Oh,
Or when did it kick off?
There's
it depends on how you want to look at it.
there are many booms.
So
Yeah.
like in 2016, when people originally started thinking, okay, we're kind of in a dead internet, aka when the amount of bots / algorithms / whatever else outnumbers actual real people, was back in 2016. That's when they started saying, like Facebook openly admitted, they said more than 50% of the traffic is not real humans.
No, I think it started well before 2016. I think 2016 is when it just came out.
This is when people started noticing, for sure, a lot more. Now, it is estimated that almost 25% of Facebook, in specific, because they're the only ones who will have release numbers, they always fudge the numbers and give like 25% more. Like back when it was really 50, they said 75. Now it's down to 50. So everybody's like, okay, 25. Most of it is AI doing the searches, doing the research, looking at the posts, trying to see.
Facebook is absolute garbage. now.
100%.
I don't like it.
I hate
I don't like
Facebook.
I had it so like 7 years ago. I had deleted my account because some nonsense happened. It got hacked, and Facebook literally was just like, "We're not going to help you."
If you want your information to be leaked out there, throw it on Facebook.
So it got like legitimately hacked. Someone was signed in as me. I remember I woke up one morning at 4 a.m. and I'd gotten a text at like 3 saying, "You signed into Facebook at this location. It was nowhere near us. Probably someone using a VPN, but so the location was probably wrong, but it wasn't me." And it was like I woke up an hour after that happened. I said, "No, this wasn't me," but it was too late, and I tried to sign in, and my password was changed. So that account was hacked. I stayed up. I didn't go back to sleep because I was trying to get.
Yeah.
I didn't want people getting spam links or getting whatever. Facebook wouldn't help me delete the account. Eventually, I ended up like doing reporting, and eventually the account got put on hold. And I was like, whatever, I'm done. I'm not making a new account. But someone asked me to because they only talk through Messenger. So I made it just for Messenger. Yeah. And I hadn't really looked at Facebook for like 4 or 5 years. And I didn't really do much often back then either. It was mostly Messenger anyway. But if like a month or two ago, I actually looked through feed.
Yeah.
It's
garbage.
None of it is who I'm friends with.
It's all garbage.
And none of it. It's like, here's political, here's political, here's political, here's this thing, here's this thing. And it's like,
It's all garbage.
I don't follow any of this stuff. I
Yep.
don't know who any of these people
a
are.
bunch
I
of
don't know who
recommended.
any of these organizations. It's not even saying recommend though. It's like it's as if it's like this is what you follow. This is what you want to see. It's
Yeah.
presented like that.
So
And I'm like,
it's
and you like out of like 50 posts, maybe 2 are from my
This
friends.
is one thing that I'm really annoyed about Instagram is that they do the suggested on
Yeah.
your feed
yeah.
instead of on your search.
I hate that.
It annoys me because I'm on the homepage to see who I'm following.
Right.
And then on top of that, then you've got all the ads that pops up constantly.
Yep.
I'll be scrolling. I've got 3 ads in a row.
See,
Yeah.
I have ad blockers, so I don't even experience that side of it, which probably
need
makes
to
it
get that.
even worse.
Yeah.
I've got a VPN,
But I'm like,
but I need to get.
Why would
ad
I
blocker.
want to be on a social media platform that's supposed to be about connecting with friends
Yeah.
and family?
Yeah.
And I never see posts from friends and family. Instead, I see posts from someone
Exactly.
I don't know or care about. That's usually stuff I don't agree with or like.
Right.
Like,
So-
why?
That's what a lot of it's
Because
not
they
a
want
lot of
clicks.
Instagram is. But
They want clicks. We all know that clicks runs the ad revenue on
Yeah.
social media, the internet, period.
now it could just be the people that I follow, but the majority of the content that I see on Instagram is of just influencers or the suggested reels.
Well,
Very little people are actually posting stuff.
Yeah.
And again, it could just be the people that I follow, and I don't follow. a
No,
lot.
I get the same thing.
keep in
So-
mind for mine, you can almost look at my Facebook as a clean slate because I had it a few friends, like I have like 20 friends, if that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
don't follow almost anything because I didn't make the account to actually use it. So mine's almost as if it's a clean slate.
Okay, so that makes more sense because they're trying to create an algorithm for you then,
But
Yeah.
and they're
just
trying to.
just show me my
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
just like if you want to show recommend, and this is all of them. They all have this problem. YouTube has this problem as well.
Yeah.
Facebook is just by far the worst because it's like quite literally you may never see anything that you're following, which is stupid.
This
But
is,
like if you want to have a suggested tab, and
Yeah.
if you're on your subscriptions or my friends or followed or whatever, just show that
And
with
that's how it used
with
to
maybe
be.
an ad or 2 in there.
that's how it used to be until about what would you say, about 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Within
Mostly.
within the past 5 years, because like the last time I'd used it, it was not
Yeah.
Yeah.
this bad.
So, like, the big companies, like the big social media companies, Google, YouTube, I know they're not big anymore, but like Yahoo and the big search engines are deathly afraid of releasing actual numbers of actual users.
Yeah.
Because right now what they are doing and the way it has been set up for a long time is, let's say Jeremy wants to run an ad.
The more clicks that
the
ad
more
gets, the more
clicks-
money.
Yeah. This is how Google would say, okay, how many people are you trying to interact with? Jeremy says, I want to interact with 100,000 people. I want 100,000 people to look at it, and I want to get impressions off of that.
And he's thinking maybe 10 to 20% will actually look at my
Right.
product.
Google comes back to Jeremy and says, okay, I can guarantee that we will get your ad in front of 100,000 people. That would be extremely difficult right now because for instance, it would be extremely difficult for them to have actual users do, like, okay, I've seen Jeremy's thing.
Yeah.
Right now, every search, and this is quickly going to fade away, but almost every search that people do through AI, like let's say Jeremy's selling towels or whatever, and I do a search that says I'm looking for bath towels that are under this price, that can be delivered within 5 days, etc., whatever. I type that into Chat GPT, Gemini, whatever. If it looks at Jeremy's ad, that is considered somebody looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
even though I never personally did anything, irregardless if his ad gets recommended to me or not.
It's just the fact that AI brought it up into the search.
Yeah.
and then they count
It's
it.
considered a click.
Well, not only
and
that,
to clarify, because based on what you're saying, it sounds like, okay, indirectly, though, it still counts. But to take it further, it's as if ChatGPT search was recommended it, but then it does not recommend it to Vandy. So Vandy has 0.
Exactly.
yeah,
You have to like include. It's not like it recommended it to ChatGPT, so ChatGPT is bringing it back to him. Then it's like
No.
through indirectly he did,
Yeah.
even if it technically. But in this case, yes, it's like
With
ChatGPT saw it, never recommended it.
Yeah, so it never actually got to me. It just looks like somebody clicked on it and looked at it because a search engine or an AI looked at it.
not only that, you have, of course, we've all seen it, the bot farms,
Yes,
and people
Yes.
hire bot farms
100%.
for their social media
Yes.
to grow bigger for their social media.
So
They'll pay so much for 100 followers.
this is the problem that we're having right now. It's created such a big bubble where Google or whoever can say, "Oh, we just sold Jeremy 100,000 views for whatever amount, $10,000 or whatever." Let's just throw a number out there.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. So Jeremy thinks he got his product in front of 100,000 people.
And it might be 5,000.
It might be 5,000, if that.
And then within that 5,000,
10%,
maybe,
so that's 50. Or
maybe
1%,
10.
that's like 50.
yeah, at least 1 to 0.5% is actually buying the product.
Yes.
So is it worth it?
Well, this is what goes back to the dead internet theory.
It's not a theory anymore. It's a fact.
It's a fact, but what they have pivoted, and we have seen this.
Fact, Jeremy.
We have seen this everywhere.
I'm not dead.
The one place that is sort of was untapped, but now it's pretty much completely
Roblox.
no. Your favorite influencer. And they used to see big jumps in product, and we still do sometimes, when you actually have a good product to sell.
Mm-hmm.
And like for instance, there's this YouTube channel called Linus Tech Tips. I know because he's unbiased and he flat out calls his own products that he makes unacceptable, and he won't release them, and he's delayed releases and stuff like that. But if he recommends something and I happen to have that need or want, I'll probably buy it.
Yeah. Reputation is big.
So now a lot of companies are saying, forget this, going to the big Googles, the big YouTubes, the big players in the game. And they're just saying, we're going to be sponsoring this person.
And I hate that too.
Yes, because
hate
it
it.
creates sellouts.
I understand it. I get it. I'm just so sick of ads everywhere.
100%.
I
so sick of
don't.
it.
I personally, well,
Because
I take it back. It depends on how it's handled. But if it's handled well, I don't understand people who hate sponsors in video.
yeah,
Because if it's handled poorly, then it's not the sponsorship that's bad, it's the creator that's bad.
Yeah.
But if it's handled properly, the sponsor's either going to be fun in a fun way integrated into the video. So like you're watching the sponsor, but it's also like you're watching the video. I've seen plenty of those where it's like almost like you don't even realize you're watching a sponsor. You do because they say it is, but it's like those are fun. Or it's like a boring ad, but it's literally the creator chooses where it goes, so it's not breaking up any content. It's like in a spot that it fits, and you can just skip ahead in the timeline if you don't want to watch it.
I get that. My thing is, okay, let's bring it back to the 90s or even early 2000s. How were companies advertising? Newspaper, billboards, TV.
TV, yeah.
That's how they were advertising. The big advertisement was TV.
Yeah.
As seen on TV products, everything else, right?
That was the big YouTube.
That was the big
It still
you got to
exists,
get on TV to sell your product, right?
Yeah.
Now radio too. Radio.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a whole lot of ads. I mean, a whole lot of traffic on internet in 90s, early 2000s. Yes, there were ads then, but not as much because it wasn't
I'd say
as
early 2000s is pushing it. 90s, sure.
yeah. There wasn't a large need for it. My thing is now every YouTube video, you have your ads that plays before the video,
Yep.
during and after.
And then
You have the advertisement
a sponsored, yeah.
from the creator itself. Every platform that you're on, Spotify,
Yep.
Apple, Netflix, Hulu, anything,
Yeah.
there's always advertisements. If you want to get rid of those advertisements, you have to pay extra.
Yeah.
And then there's different tiers on Netflix to get really away from advertisements.
Oh, yeah.
It's so overwhelming with entertainment and society today.
Yes, I agree with most of that
And
as well.
and the majority of it, the reason why they're having to put so much out there is because of dead internet.
Yeah.
Because they have to swamp and swarm the marketplace to be able
Yeah.
to get their names out there because there's so many bots.
Yeah.
And so they have to outweigh it to be able to
Sorry.
they have to outweigh it, the bots, to be able to get any kind
Yeah.
of
I'm not convinced that's the reason why.
well, that's just a theory that I'm coming up with, but it's
I think dead internet or not, it would still be because
competition and capitalism and everything else.
because to a lot of them it's just numbers and money.
Now,
They don't care about the bots one way or the other.
This was
In fact, they probably are pro bots.
a statistic that kind of blew my mind. Within generations, because obviously AI is huge right now. Like our generation, we are kind of fed things that are real, like content that is more real. Like what I mean by that is a real life person is talking to us.
Yeah.
The generations under us, it's like they are being force fed nothing but AI, something where somebody's not on a screen talking to them or making a commentary or anything. Like it tries to keep each generation within its own lane. Like Jeremy, me, you, we all grew up on, watching gameplay commentaries or walkthroughs and stuff like that. But what's happening now is it's almost phasing out the actual person. And it's getting to the point where it's pushing forward the AI stuff.
Well, even in our games, there's advertisements, dude.
Dude, yeah.
I can't get away
Microsoft,
from any of it.
Microsoft updated Xbox 360 a few
Dude.
months ago. 360, so that way the home screen could have ads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, oh my god,
it's.
it's so stupid.
I'm so sick of it, but at the same time,
And Windows is, I think, I don't know if it's already started, but Windows is like Windows 11 is gonna have ads in your start bar.
Yeah. I've seen that.
and then they're
It's
talking about putting
terrible.
ads in your car's
Like,
screen.
yeah, it's stop
Yeah.
signs
Yeah,
and
stop
stoplights.
And Ford patented the idea of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not
Gotta-
too afraid of
gotta
that one because
install ad
Ford
blocker
seems
to
to
your
fumble
car.
everything.
yeah. I am getting closer and closer and closer to completely rejecting society and going to live in a van down by the river and be a hippie homeless guy.
In a van
Well,
down by the river.
Yeah.
how much content this, and keep in mind, this is over the general internet, the majority of internet. How much content would you say percentage wise is real versus not real?
What do you mean?
I mean stuff that is made by AI. Like
Okay,
the majority of the video is AI.
Okay, yeah.
The
Versus-
video or
This is over all the internet.
okay, but the content you're watching or the content and the reactions.
The content, Like if
you're
go,
scrolling through Instagram, YouTube,
yeah,
anything, if the video is made by or has a certain percentage of AI.
yeah, like more than 50% of the video was made by AI.
I think the content I watch is almost either it's intentionally, and I know, like I've been watching more videos from that one guy who made the real versus AI.
Yeah.
Some of his stuff's not even AI, but his stuff I know it's AI, and I'm intentionally watching it because it's funny.
Yeah.
But outside of that, like the kind of content I watch is not. I know for a fact isn't AI. So for me, it'd be very little is AI generated.
Yeah.
Well, I just scrolling.
That I go through,
Yeah,
and I don't typically just scroll.
Just scrolling through
I don't want
Instagram.
that.
I mean, there's all kinds of
Yeah.
AI videos out there. I'd say percentage-wise, I'd say right now, 30 to 40% of our content is AI.
60.
Jeez.
It's 60 to it's between 50 and 60% is either generated by AI or somebody heavily used AI to make it.
And I have, to me, it's not as clear cut. I hate content made by AI in the sense of like it's not real, because there's a difference between AI content where the person is involved every step of the way, but they don't have the utilities to create it. Like they don't have XYZ.
No, if you harness it and use it, I have
like,
no problem with
but like
that.
they're saying this is what I want, and then like they're watching it and then like okay no, and critiquing it and doing multiple takes and are involved, and the core essence of it is human made.
I have no issue with that.
The core concept of it is human made. It's just the tool they're using is AI.
Like if I can't draw, but I know what I want to be drawn, and I tell AI to draw it and keep giving it inputs until it gets there, hey, I have no issue with that. I think
personally that I would be against that being someone's end game of like, at least currently how things are. If your end game is, I don't ever want to improve or figure out how to do it myself or get to a point where it can be done by someone real, I just want to do AI. I'm kind of against that because I think AI quality is still not where it should be, and you can't control, especially if you're doing videos, you can't control that it's the same person every shot. So it's like, I don't think
certain
that
things.
I don't think like if that's your goal is I want to be AI content.
I think we're gonna go full circle and go back to actual cable television, where it's AI free.
Well, this is where.
But anyway, just to finish. But if it's fully AI, where there's little to no human interaction, they're just kind of like, here, farm me stuff that's created, and it's like this channel has like 7 videos a day, and it's all AI, and there's almost no human. 100%, that's garbage. Get that out of here.
Yeah. Well, here's the good part of it is that a bunch of people are waking up to it and telling all these companies, hey, we don't want to be force-fed stuff. Like, sure, if there's an AI creator that I like and I subscribe to them, show me that. But I don't want to just be constantly force-fed a bunch of junk. And there's been several petitions and different things that have gone before different companies to say, hey, we want the content that we signed up for. And the majority of it is, like you said, we're coming full circle where people are wanting more real.
Yeah, I guarantee you that they're going to create contracts with the cable companies that say only a certain amount of each show can utilize AI.
Sure.
And like with animation and stuff like that, TV shows, they're going to use AI to put something in the background or whatever.
I don't have an issue with that. But especially like when it comes down to crunch time and you don't have enough time to do something, use the tool, but don't let the tool be the thing.
But I think the big reason why cable isn't big as it is because, number one, people can look up anything that they want to.
It's the on-demand.
Yeah. But I do see cable coming back because you already see all these like Disney Plus, Hulu, and Peacock or bundles.
Dude, we just dropped
all these
like
bundles that are coming out, and there's like $60 for 3 apps.
Yep.
And what's the difference, man? Like it's there's no difference, and you still have ads.
Yeah, exactly.
The only difference is the on-demand, and I
Yeah.
I don't think that cable's coming back at any capacity.
I think it'll be something different.
because Zoomers and especially Alpha think cable is stupid.
Yeah.
There's no nostalgia. There's some nostalgia for cable for me. I miss some of the stuff as a kid of just turning on the channel.
Yeah.
Like
And then whatever
People younger
was
than
on was
that.
on.
people younger that don't have that nostalgia, and
Yeah.
they're like, no, I refuse. And I think that even millennials are also, most millennials are like, I'd rather do the on demand. I'd rather.
Yeah.
I think cable. I think it will be. Well, I would say networks, but that's basically what we've gotten to with
It's
with the streaming services. The problem is like all of them are trying to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Like there
their
might
own subscription.
their only thing that there could be would be like basically someone says the networks can't be providing the streaming service. It has to be an outer source, and then they get to buy the rights to stream the networks, and all the networks are in one thing. But then you kind of give one service.
Well, that's why they make it
I don't
so
know.
hard to
I don't
get
know.
out of them, is because they spent so much money getting to the real person and going through all the bots that they make it almost impossible to get out of.
I think cable will have a small uptick, and only if they decide to fix their advertisements, how they do advertisements.
Yeah.
Meaning not as many, and if they sign contracts saying that they will only allow a certain percentage of AI into it.
I don't even like the cable advertisements. Obviously, when you're a kid, especially,
They used to be good, man.
They're not even that they'd be good. It was just kind of, it was annoying. But cable doesn't bother me as much with ads because what's broadcast on cable is
It's for
designed
Yeah.
around the concept of
Yeah.
ads. So there are scene transitions, and you can see it when you're watching stuff that's streamed now that there are no ads, where like a scene will just fade to black. That's because when it was broadcast, this was like, this is where the ad's going to be.
Right.
Content online that's on demand does not have
Just
that
put
in
in
mind.
wherever.
Law and Order. Everybody just stands around at a shocking scene.
Like it
Ding ding.
it doesn't. And then not to
If
mention,
you know somebody that has mesothelioma,
it's just annoying.
may
It's
be
like the
entitled.
ad breaks are at random spots. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
On like again, cable.
Well,
some of the cable.
I was
have
explaining this to
too
my who was it?
I'm your brother-in-law.
Either my mom or my dad.
Oh.
Shut up. That about Prime Video, because they were asking about a Christmas movie, and they're like, "Well, have you checked Prime?" I said, "Yes."
Full
and
ads.
everything that's on there, all the Christmas movies, is garbage. And
Yes.
you have to either buy or rent it to even watch it. And that's 3/4 of the stuff that's on there, even though that we're paying for a subscription. And I know that Prime Video is Amazon Prime and everything's bundled in together with that, but we're still paying for it, and you still gotta do all that. And when you buy it or rent it, when you rent it, you still get ads in it. I'm sick of it. Anyway,
Yeah, I hate ads.
But guess what?
we
We didn't have any ads in this one.
no, because we're poor and we don't have any subs. But we will be sellouts whenever we do have subs.
We have subs.
We have
This ain't Subway. You can't have it your way.
25.
We don't have enough for advertisers to say that we want
We
you to
had
add.
a chance on our second
Dude.
episode, and you said no.
Yeah, because it was probably a scam.
Yeah, we probably would have got scammed. We,
Or think of all the money we'd have.
pretty sure it was like $20. It's split 3 ways.
20 more bucks than we got now.
Yep.
Either way, that's gonna do it for ours. I know this one was a bit longer, depending on how we
It was a lot longer.
get it edited up. But I'm back, and hopefully Jeremy won't kick me out the
He's
next
saying
one.
he's back as if he wasn't back last week. This is the problem
Dude.
with our videos coming out
For
like
me,
this.
I'm back.
because he's seeing the comments of "Where's Vandy?" But he's been back for a whole week.
Yeah, I guess so. But either way, we have been we've been the Tinfoil and the Testament. So we will see you guys next week. Probably not see you. You'll listen to us.
If you listen to the end, comment pineapple.
Peace.
Pineapple.